Hi everyone, in this video we'll be seeing the phenomenon of refraction in a rectangular glass plate. So let us start with this diagram. So here this is my rectangular glass plate. Okay, wow. So I'm just naming it as A, B, C, D. This will tell you when the refraction that has been happening between the air and glass and the air again. So it is like a two-way refraction. Now we'll be seeing how it does and how it works. So here, when light falls onto the glass plate from air medium, so air is a rarer medium, whereas glass is a denser medium. Again, after the glass you have rarer medium. So it is just a glass that's been inserted between air. So air medium la, when you introduce a denser medium as in glass now, then you will be observing this refraction phenomenon. Now here, from air to denser, so rarer to denser when it is passing, so this will be your angle of incidence. Since it is moving from rarer to denser medium, the refraction will be towards the normal. So since this is one medium, there will be no way of changing the direction again. This is one medium. Light is starting to incident from here and will move as such, but there will be no change in direction in between. Only the change in direction happens at this interface. Interface na, the point where the two surfaces are meeting. So here this will be your refracted ray. I'm drawing the angle of refraction. Now look here. Again, this is an interface where the glass medium is meeting with the air medium. Now draw the normal again. We know that if the light is falling from denser medium to rarer medium, then the refraction takes place away from the normal. Away from the normal, it will go like this. Angle of refraction. Okay, but here this alone is said to be angle of refraction, whereas this is called angle of emergence, because light that is falling from rarer passes through a denser medium, again goes to rarer. So it is emerging from the denser medium. That's why we call this as angle of emergence. Now when you observe the angle of incidence, I'm just drawing it like a light ray, very light one. So you'll be able to observe the difference. So this very light thing is your original incident ray. If there is no glass in between, then the light that is coming from the air medium will be only following this path. So this is the original path of incident ray. But since I have placed the rarer medium in between, it has shifted its path. Understood? So here, this distance between the two, the emergent ray and the original path of the incident is called lateral shift. Okay, wow. This you will be learning in your higher standards. For now, I'm just explaining what is what. So this, the emergent ray. So I'm just, let me name it as emergent ray. Emergent ray is due to two refractions that is happening. Refraction 1 is between rarer and denser, and refraction 2 is between denser and rarer. So emergent ray is because of the two refractions, whereas the incident ray, this, if there is no glass this will be your original path. Now lateral shift is nothing but the distance between the emergent ray and the original path of the incident ray that is supposed to be taken by the ray from here. Okay, wow. So this you will be learning in your phenomenon of refraction in a rectangular glass plate. Emergent ray you will be learning, incident ray, refracted ray, emergent ray, lateral shift, and all the other things like angle of incidence, angle of refraction, and angle of emergence. So all these three angles are always measured with respect to what? With respect to normal that is drawn exactly at the point of incidence. Again from this, if you apply your laws of refraction, then again you will get the incident ray, normal and refracted ray all lie in same plane. So the thing is, all the three, the incident ray, normal, and the angle of the refracted ray, all are lying in the same plane. If you just cut the, if I'm just cutting this slab, just for your imagination, let's take this is simple paper. If it is a paper, I'm just cutting it and just folding. Now I'll be not able to see this refracted ray, right? So this is how it works. And second one is ratio of sin I to sin R is always a constant, and we call this constant as mu. So in the last class, we have seen how mu can be calculated. If you know the value of mu, for glass it is 1.33. If you know the value of mu, then you will be able to calculate either I or, depending on the problem that they have given. So sometimes they'll give I and ask you to calculate R. Sometimes they'll give you R and ask you to find. And the third case is they'll give both these values of angles I and R and ask you to find the value of mu. So this is how the refraction will happen in a rectangular glass plate. If you have any doubts, just comment down and subscribe for more videos. Thank you.